about 15 minutes ago, about 9 p.m. Eastern, Amazon rang my doorbell and brought me this, the Dark Souls Compendium. It actually does exist, guys. I bought this back in January when it was announced, and it's really hard to do a book review because I can't show you guys pages and zoom in on stuff. It's not going to make much sense, and it's not going to look very good. But I just wanted to talk to you about what this book is intended for and why I personally bought it, and to tell you guys that I think it's actually really, really cool. So, Dark Souls, to take a step back, one of my favorite franchises, and one of the reasons I enjoy it so much is because the way it tells the story is very minimalist. It doesn't really get into a lot of the nuances of traditional storytelling where two characters will have a 30 or 45-minute dialogue. No, you'll get bits and pieces in weapon descriptions. You'll pick up things just by little snippets of conversations you have with characters. And most importantly, by the atmosphere, the level design, the world building will kind of fill in the gaps. And it's kind of up to you to kind of weave together this strange world where time doesn't necessarily matter. And you're trying to do the right thing, but you're not even really sure what that is half the time. It's a very abstract way of looking at a game. And I'm glad that the compendium exists because it tries to fill in that gap from a lore perspective. And it breaks out things for you in the history of Dark Souls. And it walks you through each game and each level, including DLC, with an emphasis more on... I mean, it does have some walkthrough elements where it shows you the maps and where the items and stuff are located, but the emphasis more is on the lore and the reasoning behind why is this NPC here and why did they say that and what is the significance of this item, to kind of help you understand a little bit more the thought process behind some of the design choices that From Software made. You do have other stuff in there like a breakdown of equipment and items. You have different enemies and bosses and all the all the character design there. This book runs over 470 pages. It is massive, 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 massive. And what I really like about it is that it's just very fan focused on... It's almost like a love letter to Dark Souls as I'm reading through it, just looking through some of the stuff, and I really do like that. Now, it does come with... it doesn't come with any other frills or anything like that. There's no soundtrack. This isn't like a collector edition where you're getting some sort of statue or anything like that. The one thing it does include, though, is these 4 art prints, which I am absolutely in love with. So... we have 4 prints. They said you could frame them if you want. I'm going to hold them up to the camera so you can see, but they're really heavy cardstock, and these are definitely going to get framed, at least a couple of them, and go on the wall. I have no idea where. So you may recognize this guy. This is the Dancer of Boreal Valley. One of the really cool things I think about Dark Souls always was that their character design was just so bizarre and so detailed. So some of these enemies are just very, very detailed. We also have this guy right here. This is the Boreal Outrider Knight. You can tell by the wispy part on the back, this kind of like spirit essence almost. And also it's kind of hard to tell because I'm holding up I'm holding it up against my light. You could see his sword kind of glistening like mist or maybe like frost coming off of it, which is really, really cool. You have the one of the major villains of the game, one of the toughest guys you'll play throughout, is the Black Knight. So you have that, and then my personal favorite, this is the Ferrum Knight, which is an armor set that you get in Dark Souls 2. I have a collector edition of this statue. I love this picture. This guy, this is just such a really iconic piece of art to me. I mean, totally this thing's going to get framed. I didn't buy it for the art. It was a nice added bonus. I actually had no idea what was really going to come in the book, other than I'm just a fan of Dark Souls. So standard page includes, some of the layouts of some of the maps, kind of walkthroughs of what's going on. Basically game by game, it has descriptions of all the NPCs and all their dialogue options. It also has The history, as I talked about, you can just see some of the kind of the layout of the book. It's really nice. I can't say enough good things about it. I wish more games would do something like this, especially a game like Dark Souls that has so much cultural impact, in my opinion, really did shape a whole genre of games. But more so that, you know, it was a very, very beloved series. And we're sad it's over. I mean, From Software's moved on to other things, but it's nice to have something you could hold in your hand, if that makes sense. I would love to see this for other games that had big impacts too. I would love to see a compendium made for Zelda or for Metal Gear. And I don't mean the Prima strategy guides. I mean books like this that take time and care and passion to kind of walk you through the world building of the game more and the lore and the feeling behind things, as opposed to just, oh, okay, walk three maps north and one map right and hit the third bush on the left and that's where you find a bomb cluster or whatever. No, I mean more just kind of like building in a world and just like an encyclopedia almost, and a celebration of the series. So I've rambled on long enough, but I just really wanted to do a video on this because I really, Dark Souls really does mean a lot to me. So, I mean, this is a monster book. This is going to take me forever and a day to get through, but I will absolutely read this thing cover to cover over the course of, you know, many years, because I don't read very often. But it's just something that I wanted to have. And I also wanted to say that, as I just look through some of the art sets here, very, very neat. Yeah, I think it's a good buy. That's what I wanted to say. It does exist. They're already back ordered again. You can pre-order it again on Amazon. I don't know what the problem is with this book in particular, but it took a very long time to get here. It was supposed to be released many months ago, but there were a lot of import issues. There were a lot of back order type issues, but it does exist. So this video serves as a purpose. I'm holding it in my hands. You can absolutely expect, if nothing else, this will be framed on my wall very soon. I'm already looking over there. I'm thinking where I want to put it. Wow, just a great set. So there you guys go. My love letter to Dark Souls. Once again, the compendium, strong recommendation for me. Set you back about $30. It'll probably be cheaper at some point, but when initially listed it was $50. I would have paid $50 in a heartbeat. Obviously, I pre-ordered it. So, but you can pick it up for about $30 now. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.